Hey, Greg.
How you doing, Mark? How are you? How was your week?
I'm good. I'm good. My week is all right. I miss talking to you. We usually talk a little bit more than we did last week, but
I'm just
anyway,
bummed out. I've been bummed out from yesterday. Really
from
bummed out, yeah. 76ers.
yeah, yeah, okay.
I was in shock.
Yeah, that was I knew you were when I heard it, when I knew that that would affect you a little bit.
Yeah, not a little bit. It was like we were wondering, and
Well, at least it
uh,
wasn't like game 7. I mean, it was, they what I
it
mean?
makes it worse. What are you trying to console me? It makes
A
it
little
worse.
bit, a little bit. I'm trying to console you.
It's the opposite. That's the opposite.
Yeah. Okay.
Making me feel worse.
All right.
So
Okay.
we lost it in 6 instead of 7.
Yeah. And you know what?
You
We didn't
listen.
say, hold on. I'm Mark. This is the 80-60 rule. I'm 60. This is Greg.
And I'm 80.
And anyway, I knew that you would be upset by that. That's probably why we didn't talk. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Who
mean,
else?
come on.
Who? Any other surprises? I mean, we've got a few game 6s tonight, right?
Tonight, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand, since we're talking about that. How can the team be ahead 55 points? I don't get it,
Yeah.
especially against Golden State.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I talked to somebody the other day. He says you start getting curious about what's going on. And how can somebody win by 50 or win by 30? The next day they lose by 30.
Yeah. Yeah. Those when they get on a streak and everything, it's isn't it usually based on matchups, like who's on the bench at that time? It'll be when this guy's going to grab a few minutes at the end of the quarter or whatever to take a little rest, and then you see somebody shoot ahead 10, 12, 15 points in a row, and they're just dying to get that guy right. Then what's the 7-man rotation thing that you were talking about?
7-man rotation, like Doc Rivers. I was just asking.
Yeah.
He plays 5 to 7 guys. 5 guys, no more than 7. And I was wondering, what's the pros and cons of that? I could see, okay, they're your best 7, but what's 8, 9, and 10? Nothing.
Yeah, it probably depends who 8, 9, 10 is, right? Because on each team it's going to vary. But so maybe with his particular makeup of a team, he's like, you know what? This time of year, these games right now, I'm going to focus. It's these guys.
If they're
right
8,
here.
9, and 10, and then you think that maybe they should be on the team.
Well, 8, 9, and 10. Do you think they could be 4, 5, and 6 on somebody else's team, or would they be 8, 9, and 10 on that team again too? Is that their probably 8, 9, and 10 on that team?
I'm not good with numbers now. No. Keep the numbers. Let's keep it simple with numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
I just know like what's going on. Okay. I'm just trying to see what I would do. What would you do? I don't know if I would want to play other just in case I said happen. Eddie Green got hurt, then you had to put the guy number 8 or whatever he's.
Yeah. Do you think it's talked about like before the playoffs run? Does he say, hey, just so talking to those?
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah. They understand, but I'm just saying, like, I just see the bench. The guys that are playing, they rest just like on the bench sitting. They're so packed in. The game is just interesting. So I just wonder I always ask myself, what would I do if I were a coach?
Yeah.
Since I'm saying that, would you as a coach, how do you handle somebody that made a mental mistake? Would you reprimand him publicly? I mean, be like in the media a little bit, or just keep it quiet, keep it between.
Keep it quiet. Yeah, keep it quiet. I'm not. Yeah, no.
Like if there's some players that need to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Everybody's different,
Yeah, well, there's probably some who need to be embarrassed. But that's I don't know if that's the coach's responsibility, meaning he's probably going to embarrass himself anyway. I don't think the coach has to do it if it's that type of player anyway. But no, I wouldn't do it publicly. There's too much.
I remember this. I remember this was not public. but I remember this. I like Bill Parcells.
yeah.
Parcells, did I ever tell you this? With
No.
Ryan Cox? Ryan Cox played for Parcells, I think with the Giants or in Miami. I can't remember. I think Miami. And one day they said there was a half a tank of gas. No, there was a half a tank of gas by his locker. Cox didn't know what to do. But he says, so he goes up to Parcells. He says, Coach, what's this half a tank of gas by my locker? He says, that's the way you are in the fourth quarter. A half a tank.
Yeah.
Got the point across.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clever. That's whatever, at the moment, whatever you need to do. Yeah, Parcells did it all though. He would be like public and have no like qualms about it.
Tony Romo said once, well, I heard him. He said, "You make a mistake, you better not go near him when you're coming out of the game."
Yeah.
It depends, It's interesting. Since with that, we're saying the Fathers. Have you watched many of the games, the pro games?
You talking about the playoffs?
Yeah, the playoffs.
Yeah, both.
A lot of
and
elbows flying. Really, a lot of elbows. A lot of people getting hit in the nose, the head. That. I don't remember that like last year or the year before, or maybe I haven't paid attention to it.
I think it's just that time of year, playoff time. That's when that happens, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Like historically, it's always
They're slipping on the floor and falling down.
yeah. It's probably they're sweating more. It's,
Yeah, that's
crunch
it.
time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
crunch
yeah.
time.
That's what they say. Yeah.
Really?
I have
Joking.
let me tell you about something that I found. I wanted Embiid as MVP, but I realized I saw who got it. Jokic got it, and what he's done was really terrific. I didn't know the first time in NBA history, 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists in the same season.
Wow.
That's a record. I don't know if you ever see him play. He can throw
Yeah.
that.
He's still not 30. Like
I don't know, really, yeah.
Yeah. So meaning like he's because he seems like he's been around forever in Denver. But yeah, that's pretty amazing. Good for him.
Since you said, as I keep saying, since you said that, we said yesterday with the Sixers and other teams, you got to be more physical. When do you start? When does that like? You just realized that yesterday. You got to be more physical. Like,
Yeah. Well, they're soft players. You get too many soft players together, then you got a soft team. That's math.
oh boy, I tell you.
Yeah. But
Did you rehearse that? Did you rehearse that? You got some things that you rehearsed. Yeah.
Right up there. All right.
Right.
But yeah, that's just the makeup of the team. There's some teams that you never had to get tough. Thinking of the Pistons.
Changing the subject. All right. Can we do this a little bit more? I have a friend of mine. I talked to them. They from the suburbs. They ride their bike. They were riding their bike to the city. 2.5 hours to ride their bike to the city, have lunch, put the bikes on the train and come home.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
good. Because of the COVID, they did that.
Yeah.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty
doing
cool.
the tracks like the Sweatshirts are doing the track. 2.5 hours, have lunch, and then go back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I've gone on like when I was younger, some pretty long
That was a couple of years ago or so?
like a couple 100 years ago. It was back when before cobblestone. It was rough. The cobblestone. I the bike on the big wheel bike. Remember that? Well, you remember the big wheels, right? You were the guy on that one wheel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Make fun of me. Anyway, go ahead. What's next?
Go ahead. Okay. I thought this was interesting. This was in the paper. A passenger. I'll read the better than Passenger with no idea how to fly pulls off a safe landing after pilot falls ill. I don't know what you would do. I would freeze and I would probably go PMP.
PMP?
PMP.
What's that?
Well, I don't know. Made it up. Piss my pants, I guess.
You're gonna coin a phrase.
Yeah, yeah,
You just coined a PMP. That's
yeah. I hope I'm not known for that, the PMP.
right. Yeah, that's hats off to that guy.
That's something I would
What if you could
freeze.
do both? Could you do both? Could you PMP, right? On the one hand, going like, this is rough, I'm gonna PMP. On the other, could you land the plane while you're PMPing? Can you do both? Are they mutually
I have no
exclusive?
trouble. I have trouble doing both things sometimes without any pilot, without any plane. And you're asking me to do this?
That's awesome.
Let's get one step at a time here.
Okay.
I gotta process this.
We got to do this, and then and then we'll take the flying lessons after we master the other. Okay.
Yeah. That's
All right. Anyway, you know what? That's gonna wrap up this episode of the 80-60 rule. Only because I've got to catch my breath because that was pretty funny. So Greg, I'll see you next time. All right.
thanks. I look forward to it, Mark.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Remember, if you like it, we'd like you to like it, and then we'd love you to subscribe. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Take care.
All right. This is where I always struggle, right there.